I'm a GP working in Sheffield. I have patients with substance misuse problems who I see in my general practice every day, and I know that I can contact Guernsey House for support, for advice with any of those patients, for any clinical issues. I can speak to somebody here for more support. This service has been completely invaluable to Sheffield. Before the service started, there were lots and lots of patients with substance misuse problems who weren't in treatment. And from the setup of this service, it's meant that there are many patients who've been able to get into treatment and get into treatment fast. Because of that, it's changed the ethos of the medical community in Sheffield, so that there are GPs now who are able, following training and support from Guernsey House, to be able to treat those patients in their own general practice. It also means that lots of patients are getting treated in Sheffield now in the way that they should be treated, both here and in general practice. Quite often when substance misuse patients come into treatment, life is very chaotic for them and they're considerably unwell. Patients can start in treatment here at Guernsey House, become stabilised, life becomes much more even for them, and they become much more well on their treatment, and they can then be transferred to the care of their own general practitioner. I think that kind of treatment process, that journey, is completely invaluable. One of the other things that's really important about Guernsey House is that there's a team here. It's not just doctors, it's not just nurses, it's not just drug workers, and everybody works together to give the patient the best possible care. Patients get treated with dignity and respect here, and that's so important for the treatment journey for the patient. I don't think I could do the work in general practice that I do with my substance misuse patients without the benefit of Guernsey House. I've had a lot of support, I've had a lot of training and education through Guernsey House, but I also know that if I had a problem with a patient, then I could ring and ask for advice. If I was having problems with a particularly difficult patient, I could ask for the patient to be seen here, and that's happened on a number of occasions.
It's quite a long-standing relationship, but over the last few years it has grown tremendously in that we've been doing a lot more together. But the naloxone project has been funded by the NTA because it's recognised that a lot of overdoses do occur within a family setting. Families are being given the chance to have naloxone to take home to use if an overdose occurs. So it's empowering the family really, and Guernsey House have been working really closely with that. I know that we wouldn't have been able to do it without them anyway. But we can always rely on Guernsey House, you know, if we have AGMs or if we're wanting to do some work with our service users for giving out information. I know that we can always ask, and you're always really obliging and really helpful. So
for me, it's been fantastic. We worked a plan for me. He made me feel I was very, very much a part of what was going on. I felt very much a part of the decision-making process. I feel very comfortable and very trusting with the people that are here. Very, very trusting with you.
You just, like, you just feel nervous, and I felt embarrassed, and you know, I just thought, I'm a drug taker and no one's really interested in, you know, this organisation is a good place. It provided the needs that I wanted, and they did it 110% for me. And like, they do work with you. They don't like tell you how it's going to be, you know, because it's got to revolve around your life and what you do and that. I can't speak for anybody else how fast or how slow they want to do it, but I eased through it. I think it was about, what, 7 months, 8 months, and that's it. All done and dusted. I cried the first time I saw her. Like, I was in a lot of, suffer from chronic pain at the minute, and it was like a partnership. If I was struggling, I'd explain why I was struggling. She'd either up it or lower it, whatever needed to be done. She was just brilliant. Like, she was in touch with the pain clinic was in touch with herself here. She did everything for me, and I couldn't thank her enough. Like, and like, you know, I've been clean now for ages.
When I first came here, I was in basically quite a bad way, and I found them very, compared to all the other drug services I've used, Very, very easy, very quick. I got a prescription very quick. I got offered a lot of counselling, a lot of support very quickly. Yeah, no, it was really, really, really supportive. Most supportive place I've been to, really, it has, yeah. It's been really good.
I came up here from Brighton, and I was in treatment in Brighton, and they made a total mess of the changeover because I informed them that I was coming up here. But when I got here, I managed to get referred here and get my script in 4 days, so I was really impressed with that.
What patients tell us is that they want a very clear pathway through treatment with none of those opportunities to kind of fall through the gap between one service and another. So those good working relationships between different agencies, good liaison between professionals, opportunities to make use of what other services offer. I think all those things are really important to patients. I think the other thing is that if a particular service is able to describe what another service offers and give a flavour of what that service is like, the patient is much more likely to access it and get the benefit of, as I say, what that service can offer. I think they provide a very friendly, accessible but professional service. The whole atmosphere when you walk into Guernsey House is very welcoming, informal, but you know, you have that sense that people are treated with great respect and that the staff also know what they're doing. I think the other thing that Guernsey House are good at is building good working relationships with other providers like ourselves, and that's really important to give patients a good experience.
I think from the patient's point of view, PCAS at Guernsey House is a very, very convenient service for them. It's user-friendly, it's geared to the individual patient. They can get expert advice, and I think it's the speed of advice as well. So the feedback we get from patients, they're very, very pleased with the service from Guernsey House. The service from Guernsey House has made a massive difference on a lot of people's daily lives. They've moved from being chaotic drug users into stable environment, stable medication, and the ability to receive substitute medication promptly. I think one of the advantages of the partnership that we have with Guernsey House is that it does enable us to keep more people in treatment. I feel pretty certain about that because of the flexibility that relationship gives us. Another advantage that we've had working closely with Guernsey House is the ability to be able to put in a pilot branch clinic for them. And this has worked using supplementary prescribers, a nurse supplementary prescriber. It's at the cutting edge of what's happening with drug treatment at the moment. At the Wicker Pharmacy, we have around about 200 patients who are prescribed by the team at Guernsey House. So we see a lot of these, and a lot of them actually we see every day because they're on supervised consumption. And we're able to form relationships with them, and we get the feedback there. And I have to say that the vast majority are very happy with the service that they get. A big advantage to us of the service at Guernsey House is the fact that we're opening an evening and at weekends, and we're able to actually contact prescribers throughout our opening times, which is quite exceptional. And when problems do come about, which they will inevitably, we always get absolutely maximum cooperation from Guernsey House. The other area that we need to work on is people that are addicted to over-the-counter medicines. We're in a position to be able to get these people into treatment. If we look at the city-wide aspect of this, one thing that we've seen over the years since Guernsey House came into fruition is massive increase in the number of people being treated, a massive increase in the amount of methadone being prescribed, but a big decrease in the number of drug deaths. And this has been helped by the fact that we've got 86 of Sheffield's community pharmacies who are working with Guernsey House to develop the services. That's been a major achievement. So we've seen a lot more people in treatment and a drop in drug deaths and a drop in crime.